Well, we welcome to the stage your third act of the first half, Stuart Moore. Hey team, I'm Stuart Moore and I eat my feelings. So this is anger and resentment and chips. Now, the reason that I'm full of anger and resentment is that I'm a working class man living a very middle class life. And the reason I'm living a middle class life is because I'm married middle class. And it's a strange one. I mean, when I was growing up, I had a dog. And when people would ask me what type of dog I had, I'd say, well, it's a boy dog. But now I'm middle class and people ask you what type of dog you have to say it's a cockapoo. And that doesn't even sound like a dog to me. To my ears, a cockapoo sounds like the worst ever game of guess what I've got in my hand. Now, a lot of the resentment comes from, you know, the fear that my middle class family are going to find out just how working class I am. I live in constant fear that my wife and child will find out that if I'm in a room that's got a television in it, and that television isn't switched on, it's a complete anathema to me. And I live in fear that my wife and child will find out that I don't know how to use the word anathema. And I think my downfall will be the food. I mean, I used to like seafood, but the more middle class you get, the less finger-shaped seafood becomes. And one of my favourite things to eat was, I have to say the plural properly. It's, is it octopi? Octopi, when there's more than one. Well, I say octopi because I like eating 8 pies. But I'm not an idiot. I know there's loads of types of beans because you can get them with sausages, without the sausages. But in our kitchen cupboard at home, I've seen 3 other shapes of beans. There's long green ones, big white ones, and little red ones, and none of them are in tomato sauce. We've got homemade hummus in ramekins in our fridge. The first time me and my wife sat down in our, is that me?
No, nice bro.
Oh, we're back. The first time me and my wife sat down in our living room without the telly on, with a toasted focaccia bread. She said, "Bring me the ramekins of hummus." I thought I was off on a quest to Helm's Deep, battling orcs. And I went to our fridge and there's 4 kinds of milk in there, and none of it's milk. And I spilled some the other day, and I know you're not supposed to cry over it, but I couldn't help myself because it fucking costs more than petrol. And I used to eat fruit to keep healthy, and it used to be easy because it all came peeled, and it was only ever in fruit juice or light syrup. Now, none of our fruit comes in tins, apart from our olives, apart from our grapes, and they're in jars of salty water. And they're not seedless anymore. They've got one big pip in the middle, and they're called olives. But it wasn't always like that. Before I started eating olives, I was in another marriage, and that first marriage was a very working class marriage. And that marriage, I think the 2 biggest differences between my marriages is now I'm older and fatter. In my second marriage, only one of us gets to see my penis. I call my penis Brendan Fraser, because I haven't seen either of them since the 2008 film The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And by an amazing coincidence, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is what I used to call my first wife's vagina. And that's because if you got too close to it when it was angry, it spit fire at you. Now, I haven't seen this film, but I am aware that Brendan Fraser has found critical acclaim and Oscar nomination success in his 2022 film, The Whale. It's a very good film, right? I haven't seen it, but by an amazing coincidence, The Whale is what I call my second wife's vagina. Now, that's not because it's massive. It's because unexpected and inopportune moments, usually during ferocious lovemaking, it makes its noise and spits water and air everywhere. Now, I do wonder if I get married for a third time that Brendan Fraser will make a film and name it after my third wife's vagina. It's probably going to be a remake of The Tomb of the Dragon's Emperor. But that first marriage, that working class marriage, broke down for two reasons. The first reason was that we didn't communicate effectively at all. And that wasn't because we couldn't talk to each other openly and honestly about our feelings. It's because she was from Hull. And the Hull accent is impenetrable. Having a conversation with my ex-wife was like having a conversation with Ronnie Pickering. If Ronnie Pickering was doing an impression of Beaker from the Muppets. Me, 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 me. Oh no, there's no more Kirk. That was my ex-wife after we'd been to see the film Star Trek Generations, the first of the Star Trek films to feature Patrick Stewart as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Now, she wasn't annoyed that there would be no more William Shatner in the Star Trek film franchise. She'd gone to get an hot dog and had run out of Diet Kirk. And I spent all day once wandering round our estate looking for a surf dude in Bermuda shorts because he'd smiled at her really sinisterly. And it was only when I walked down our wreck and I saw a burnt out sofa, I realised that when she said that she'd seen a surfer that was smirking, she'd seen a settee on fire. Now, the second reason that marriage fell apart is because, and you might not be aware of this, but she was from Hull and I'm from Wakefield. And there's a massive East Yorkshire, West Yorkshire rivalry. And it's as vicious as the East Coast, West Coast rap battles that led to the death of Tupac. But the most dangerous and aggravating thing you can do in the Yorkshire rivalries is insult each other's chippies. I was in a Hull chippy once and they said to me, "Do you want chip spice on your chips?" Now, if you've been to Hull, Elise?
Yes, chip spice everywhere. Yeah.
If you've been to Hull, you'll know that every Hull chippy has chip spice in it. And you will know that everybody from Hull has chip spice on your chips. Chip spice is a mixture of onion salt, paprika, and crack. And I said, "No, I don't want chip spice on my chips." And that's how they know. That's how they know that you're a West Yorkshire. And what they do is they distract you with the peas. And while you're looking at the mushy peas, somebody gets a handful of chip spice and they throw it in your face. And you're all blinded and disorientated. When I came round, I was in the back room with a chippy and I was chained to 3 other West Yorkshires. We had to peel potatoes and cut chip spice. It was like a greasy Breaking Bad. I was there for 6 months. We only escaped because the person that was supposed to be guarding us left the door unlocked when I went out for a smirk. Okay, well, I'm Stuart Gibson. Thank you very much. Sit in.
Cheers. Oh, we're going to complete our non-Sheffield first